Wahoo! There she is. Dear beloved Lena, we just had a beautiful chat before we started and we switched languages and there you are. I'm so honored that you're here. I'm so much welcoming you with all of my heart. Yeah, I just directly want to say I love you and I'm so honored you're here.
Oh, thank you. I'm so honored to be here. And this feels so like, oh yeah, let's just do what we've always done.
Yeah,
It feels like that.
exactly.
Mm.
And for everybody who's watching and doesn't know Lena yet, I really want to introduce you so that everybody gets a touch of your magic. So, who is Lena? Lena is a mentor and guide, and she supports women to fully align with their souls and with their truth and to liberate the love that they are. And her work focuses on meeting and welcoming all aspects of our humanity as a path of embodying our divinity. It feels like a poem, and I know, Lena, you are a walking poem on this earth. So it doesn't
Mm.
it's not wondering me that you write this kind of a description about yourself. Wow.
I just had chills when you read it. Super beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to say, Lena is a dear friend, but I feel you're so much more than a dear friend. You're a divine co-creator. And our connection is just so beautiful. And I'm super honored. You said yes, you take your time, you invest your energy into this because I feel everybody who's listening just fully feel. There's so much to feel, there's so much to receive in this space that goes way beyond any word that we speak here.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I really feel that.
Yeah, just few words. Would you just love to just share a little about yourself, a little more than my introduction and who are you and
Mm.
where are you? That's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, well, first of all, hello to everyone listening and meeting me for the first time even. Um, yeah, it's my absolute passion, and in a way, it's my path without consciously having chosen it. It just happened. But my absolute passion to ignite this and reignite this path of living in alignment with the truth of our souls as a way of really liberating the love that we carry, like opening our hearts. And I'm just like sitting here and now diving in with you. It's like, oh, there's so much to discover and there's so much to talk about. And at the same time, it's like there isn't. And at the same time, there isn't. Because it's so natural. And so yeah, I'm so happy to be here and to talk about all this. And it's at the same time, it's just like the natural way of being, I feel. And so I think that's what that will probably come out today. This is the natural way of being, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, there's one word. If I would need to describe you with one word, the word would be full devotion or even devotion if I would need to choose only one. So,
Mm.
would you like to speak a little about devotion? What is devotion actually for you?
Beautiful. Um, wow, devotion is for me, first and foremost, to completely open and surrender to this life
Mm,
and to devote fully to that opening and to that surrendering.
mm,
It's not a 70% or 99% job. It's either we are fully devoted to living, to opening, to aligning to who we are, or we're not. We can't do it 50% or even 99%. And so for me, devotion is this complete openness to life, to everything that life presents, to everything that comes, to devotion to not closing, devotion to embracing all aspects of who I am, not pushing things away or ignoring them because they're uncomfortable, because it gets uncomfortable. Like that's a given. But to open through that, it's that the devotion for me is like kind of like the spine that's holding me from the back, like kind of like propping me up or like holding me, giving me strength and structure. It's like I've committed to this, and it allows my shoulders to open and my chest to open so that I can fully open my heart to what's coming, no matter what is. And it's like I can keep relaxing back into that, like I committed to opening and I'm devoted to that. And it's like this, yeah, it's almost like this stick in the ground that's like, here I am, this is happening. And so devotion is to everything. It's devotion to feel, to express what we feel to be true, to say what's on our hearts, to be authentic to who we are in each and every now. It's that complete openness to, for me. Yeah.
And I feel there's a deep sense of real softening into being in that. It feels almost like I've been talking a lot about grace, actually all my life, because it's the most natural state for me, and grace has always been carried with me in my heart. And as you speak about devotion, there's that aspect of grace also to it, which feels like there are some sparks in the air that allow us to soften and at the same time be fully carried.
Yeah. Yeah, I fully feel that, because I do believe that life is birthing us into who we came here to be, and to deepen into who we not came here to be, but to who we are in essence, better said. Like, because sometimes this whole like who we came here to be means we're not that now, but we're that now. We're just being birthed into like deeper levels of that. And this openness to, and saying like, okay, everything that's here is for my highest growth, for my highest evolution, and for me to experience the love that I am automatically. Like that unlocks that grace, because we're not fighting life, we're not resisting what is, we're moving with it. And automatically when we move with this like natural stream that's always there and always present, it's that carries us. And I don't know if that would be what you would also describe as grace, this like you're just on the stream, you're just moving, you're being moved essentially, you're not even moving, you're being moved essentially. And then so much magic can unfold, because we don't have any preconceived anything of what should be. We're just like surrendered to now, and letting one unfold into the next, and everything comes like on its own, naturally. Naturally.
There's something funny that is popping up into my space, and I just want to share it, and let's see how you see that. So there was a time in my life as I was full like all in hippie, being hippie, and I remember myself like if somebody asked, "Can we meet this afternoon?" I was like, "Oh, let's see how the flow takes me. I'm not sure. I cannot make this appointment yet." And as you were talking about this, it gave me the memory of I thought that time that would mean to surrender for the wave of life, not being able to commit to anything. But I feel what you're speaking and what I also sense in life, of course, this wave is a different one. I mean, it's not a different one, it's just like a different version of that flow. Because I see there's
Yeah.
a lot of this go with the flow and life will carry you, and you know this and you're like, oh, but that's not, that's feels somehow superficial. There's a real
Yeah.
depth to it. Would you like to
Yeah.
speak how you see this?
Yeah. I love this, because I know that from myself, and now I'm more like when people are around me are like that, I'm like, come on, just like commit, make it as like, come on. And my experience has been with that, I feel like we leave the world that we know, the status quo that we know, that we grew up in, and this like structure. And then we leave it, and like, I need to leave that structure to find out who I am. And we kind of like renounce the world as we know it. And I know for myself, like just similar to what you just described, it's like I needed that moment of like, I don't want structure, I don't want commitments, I just want to be free and be just essentially in my feminine. And it served me so well to connect to that part of myself, because that part was suppressed in the place I grew up in most Western cultures. And it's like that's suppressed. And through kind of like renouncing it and being like, I'm free, I'm just going to go with the flow. It's like I discovered what flow can be, what it means to be in communion with life and to move with life and to not like put my agenda onto life and all that. And it was beautiful. And I think that that can lead us to this like part, like this feminine part that's like the lost feminine. Like we're too much in it that we're like disorientated and we're like, what's my purpose? And why am I even here? Like we're kind of lost. And my experience has been that we do experience that surrender. Like I've experienced in such beautiful ways through like those periods of my life, especially. And now it's like, okay, that's there. I can live that freely. I don't have to press myself and push myself into like this status quo structure. But
Yeah.
now it's like, can I establish a structure that supports that, but feels good to me? So it's not like I'm pushing it, but can I just like create a structure? And that is what am I devoted to? I'm committed to living this and to bringing the fruits of the medicine that I receive to the world. So it has like, my life has a context. It's not just, I'm just seeing where it goes. Like, I know where I'm going. I don't know what's going to come, but it's like that feminine part of like flowing is married with that masculine part of like, I know what my greater intention is and what I'm here to do in a context. It doesn't have to be like exactly, but I feel that allows that flow. Actually, it provides like the banks that so that river can actually flow much more freely. It's like, yeah, because we can relax into that and be like, oh, or else it's like I just get lost in the emotion and the life, and oh, life is opening me and great. And it's like, yeah, but what?
I love it.
You know, it's like great. And like you feel something's missing. It's that masculine part, but a masculine that doesn't suppress that, but supports that.
Yeah. And I think there's a real depth. Um, I mean, this is the level of deep surrender because what you talk about, there's kind of a paradox also that the mind can get stuck in like understanding, okay, because you said, I know where I'm going, but I'm still surrendering. And then there we could stay stuck in the first conflict. Okay, what does it mean? I know where I'm going and I don't really know where I'm going. And
Yeah.
I think this is the level of really deeper knowing
Yeah.
of self and knowing the great self.
Yes. Yes.
I just need to share something that we had. I have a mastermind at the moment, and we had a call yesterday. And Mihail said, my partner, he's doing that with me, and he said something like, we were talking about dreams, and he said so beautiful, like actually, there's only one dream. There's only one dream to be dreamt by all of us. And I mean, that is, I get goosebumps as I say this because
Same.
I
Yeah.
know it's so true.
Yeah.
And as we
Yeah.
surrender to that, we know we are like, I get goosebumps all the time, but we are eternally carried through the river that is flowing in exactly the perfect waves and
Mm.
like fast or slow. And I think you are just, for me, as I look at you, you are the purest embodiment of exactly that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Wow. Hmm.
And something else that came as you were sharing is that what I'm discovering in life at the moment, maybe you have a similar experience of, there was this part that we broke out of the structure, the masculine. Then we went full into the feminine. Then there is the way of, okay, the masculine and feminine come together. There's that supportive structure of the feminine fully flow. And now I'm just again in an interesting wave where it all dissolves.
Mm.
There's something like even deeper to be carried on the wave. I feel the wave that you talked about, like a really giant ocean wave that is carrying, and it's so powerful that the structure is in the powerful wave, and I'm carried. It's just so interesting. I just wanted to share it here
Yeah.
feels like
Yeah.
almost some new experience of it all. And I speak about the new earth, and I see that is living on new earth, actually,
Mm. Yeah.
giant way. What do you
Yeah.
feel about this? How do you sense?
Yeah. I so feel it. I'm not sure if it's like what I've been experiencing. I feel like this is the same but in different words, I guess, is this opening to this, first of all, this deeper layer of trust. That's like not even a deeper layer, it's trust, period. Like what deeper layer than just trust? It's like it's that. And surrendering to that, being held constantly at all times. And that deepened, like, wow, nothing is missing. There's nothing, I don't need anything except
Mm,
like
mm,
everything is here right now, fully. Nothing is lacking. And I think through that deeper opening, deeper surrender, I think we'll become closer to that living truth and love, as like I live the truth of who I am in the moment, and that liberates the love that I am. Is at one point, it's not, maybe this is what you're talking about, it's not even about me at all anymore.
yeah.
It's, can that part be liberated and lead me through me, greater than me, like personality me. Yeah.
Mm. Almost tearing, because I feel like the I is dissolving into the great I.
Yeah.
I mean, not the I, but the I am.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
dissolving to the greater I am.
Yeah.
There, any action, any being that we are moved. I mean, it's almost paradoxical to talk about this because there's no talk actually about this anymore. It's
Yeah.
just it. So, so I feel like that is dissolving fully, and operating from that place, it is just that full surrender and full
Yeah.
devotion, right?
Yeah. Fully. And what comes to me is like, as an example, what I feel happening is this transition in the world of like personal development manifestation work,
Mm,
where it's
mm,
been so much, and that's been like the status quo in these circles, in like in this world, about like manifest your dreams. What are your desires? What do you want? And it's beautiful to experience that and to learn, like, okay, yeah, I create my own reality. I'm going to say blah, 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 because at some point that gets boring. I'm like, as the way I feel it, because it's, can I release what I think it should be and just surrender to what is leading me, and can, like, I feel like through that we take our actual place, not the place we think, not the play, not doing what we think we should do, what's accepted in whatever circles we're in, but can I surrender so much that I trust that what's meant for me will meet me, and I just surrender into that current, and I don't have to plan what I want, and just trust that what's best for me and for all will be given and brought. And it's just, it again comes back to that trust, devotion, full devotion, and surrender.
mm,
And it's not about the I anymore, because that manifestation style, which is beautiful and like everything has its place, is so much about the I. And dissolving the I is like, okay, life, what do you want from me? Show me, birth me into everything I came here to be and do,
mm,
and it
mm.
will come.
Yeah,
It's like I have to control if I don't trust life.
yeah. Wow. There's something that has been since I remember being a child. I feel like you're speaking about the same. Is that whatever I've done in life, it's always been from that place of devotion. It's always
Mm,
been from that, like us as a human family, us as the earth family, like what actions of mine contribute to that, what is what are we actually about? And I think there's a really nice possibility also in this sense to talk about money. I know we've been talking
mm,
about money because there's that manifestation is happening a lot of also like, hey, you can make your multiple six figures, you can make your 7-figure business, you can do it and manifest it. And I have this strategy for that and just do it. And then I guess we have a shared opinion, but you can share soon. I'm like, okay, yes, nice. Okay, and then you have your multiple six figures, 7 figures, multiple 7 figures. And then what's then? Like, I always like asking the deeper sense of that. Like, okay, I'm all in to let money flow in and circulate it to me. I mean, it's so beautiful, and that's a beautiful experience, and we grow so much as human beings. And then what is the sense of it? And I see there are so many leaders in this world, beautiful leaders that are making already multiple six figures, 7 figures. And I see there is such deep layer of surrender available for like dissolving the I and being like a living, walking embodiment of that grace for the highest good of all, and not only like from the spiritual circles, from the for the highest good of all, it will benefit all,
Yeah.
and it, but like really like, hey, I'm making this money because I'm making it for us, I'm making it for the whole, and I'm not even making
Mm.
it coming to me through
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. Oh, it's such a like, I love this topic. I could talk about this
Yeah,
with you
me too.
probably for hours. There's so much. And I feel, well, two things. Firstly, I think something that I've been contemplating is there's often this idea like, oh, I have to make that money to be purposeful here. It has to be a business that's this and this size to be purposeful and that I'm living my full potential. It's like multi-million equates you're living your full potential. And I don't agree with that because my full potential has nothing to do with anything external. Money can support me to deepen into that eternal love of my inside of my heart. Yes,
Mm.
but it's not, it doesn't equate for me living my full potential. And when it does, it's like we chase and like, but I'm here to change the world and I got to make millions to change the world. Firstly, I
Mm.
don't think it's our potential. It's not, yeah, that. And with that comes that it's not, it doesn't equate that necessarily. With that comes that every path is so different. And
Mhm.
sometimes we have an idea of what our highest path looks like
Mm.
and think, well, of course, well, if I make a lot of money and I have a big influence, then that means that I can change something. But that's who's deciding that? It's you deciding from the I of
Mm.
what you think would be your best form of service.
Yeah.
But life knows what your best form of service is. And that may be, I don't know, doing something, I'm going to say super mundane, super like, oh, but that's not really changing anything. But life will put you exactly where you are to be to bring the greatest change to this planet. And when we get caught up in like, it has to be like multi-million big business, stewarding massive amounts of money, we could actually start to live a timeline that's not an authentic timeline.
Mm. Mhm.
It's an artificial one, and it looks
Mm.
authentic. It looks like the greatest one, but it's not. And I feel like that deconstructing that and just trusting what our hearts are saying, and that life will give us the amounts of money we are here to steward. Like, where does it want to come in? Where does it want to go? I'm just here to direct it,
Yeah, yeah,
you
wow.
know?
Wow, I
And
love it.
that's a lesson. Yeah, that's a lesson in like massive detachment. It's like
Mm.
I bring it, and it doesn't matter how much. It's like life is like, spend it here, give this away. And you're like, oh my God, what? It's like, but what a surrender that is. And then I feel like you see how like this manifestation can be in a shadow aspect of it, a way of like, oh no, like I'm always safe with all this money here. I'm always safe. But like, can you be
Mm.
safe when that's not there? Because then we can steward it authentically and truly in a deeper way. Yeah.
Mm. Wow,
But then we
Lena.
actually move with how it wants to move. Yeah.
And I feel like this is the place the grace comes in again, because the what you're speaking, I sense that actually only with our mind we can come to a point And then we are at that point where we come with our mind, with all the manifesting tools and money mindset, whatever it is. Then we are there, and then we are like, okay, and then? And I feel like that is like, oh, I get tears on, but I feel that's the place where the doors of heaven are opening. Heaven and earth.
Wow,
It's,
chills.
it's like the doors to real paradise. And I sense what you were talking, it's the real devotion that carries us through that door.
Yeah.
And I feel that is a place to live where everything is like the
Mhm.
highest wealth, the highest happiness, the highest bliss, anything exactly the way we are supposed to experience it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this is a big thing you said. It's like, it feels almost like at that door to the heaven and earth, we are asked to also drop our clothes, like fully. Like no clothes, you go naked in and you are naked there. I'm just thinking about Adam and Eva
Yeah.
somehow. Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
that feeling like, yeah, but only there. We get only naked. We can there. And that's the authentic one being it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Yeah. I have chills also when you said that. It's to live naked, essentially to live naked and trust life will clothe you in the clothes that you're meant to wear, but they don't
Uh,
belong to you and you are not of them.
wow, wow. Mm.
And it's so like, it just does something with the ego and the plan. And I think, but I want to be of service and I want to do it like this. Like life will give you birth that for you. And that nakedness of like, I want like to life, to God, I desire what you desire for me through me. And
Mm.
it's that merging. It's for me, it's the making love with life is for me the divine. And if I also, but if I open fully, it's like that love making happens if I invite it in, and through that, it's like I surrender and open more, and I'm carried to where I'm meant to be.
Mm.
And I'm not even the one carrying, I am being carried. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that is the mm, big thing as we still talk in terms of business and money and everything, that I am actually not the one carrying it all. And I know this, maybe you have also similar. I noticed so much from the experience that taking too much responsibility and thinking like it's all on me, I need to make this work. And this feels like almost some joke. Like, how did
Yeah.
I even think like that? How could I fall into that joke?
Yeah. Yeah.
And once you're naked, you're like, okay, wow, now I got it.
Mhm.
Now I got it.
Yeah. And it's a practice. Like it's, I feel in myself, it's like, yeah, okay, I'm naked. Okay, I'm going with it. And then like, oh my God, this, I mean, why did I? And again, like stop, like open to it through gratitude and acceptance that if it's here, it's for you. And then, okay, then that the energy can flow again. But it's a practice because sometimes we're like, wait a second, like I have to fix this, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. And that's so interesting. And I feel there's a deeper layer of devotion also available in this fixing. I mean, that is a big thing anyway, fixing any parts of ourselves. And I also like you talked about the self-improvement. I even see them as a self-improvement loops that we get really caught in.
Yes.
I think we're improving ourselves, but to what? What are we
Yeah.
improving ourselves to and in what? Because there's nothing to improve. Like, what was such another big joke that, like, so much compassion for my old self who thought it would
Yeah.
lead me.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying, but it's okay. I, like, it was said. Mm,
Mm.
mm. If you were on stage and there were hundreds of people. No, not hundreds, thousands of people. What would you say?
I don't think I would say anything. I think I would just create a practice, even short practice of connecting people to their hearts and to each other's hearts. I there's so many things that after I would speak about it, about love and truth and the soul path, but I would practice because when we drop into our hearts and we're in a space that's safe and we see each other and we allow those masks to fall, it's like everything is there already, and then it doesn't need any words. So I used to I used to do much more hold live events, and I would always start with a practice straight away. Even if people didn't know me, they would come in and I would just start straight away. And for some, maybe it was uncomfortable. I remember one woman that was like, wow, thank you. You just give no, I don't even know anyone here, but I feel so connected, and it's all here. And it's, yeah, because when we go into the mind first, or like, it's like we're missing so much that's available in that moment. And there's a place for speaking, and of course, and like, wow, what gets to open when we connect from that place first, and it speaks for itself, essentially. So I would do that.
I would love to offer this space here to just drop 1 minute or something like that for everybody who's listening. And I feel like silence is the most beautiful language anyway. Would you be open to that? That we just stay a moment here?
Yeah, fully.
Okay. So everybody who's listening, close your eyes, be present with us, enjoy this. Yeah, the words community comes in. Enjoy this sense of community, enjoy this sense of deep devotion that is flying in the air here. And let's go into silence for a few moments. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lena, I have somehow this feeling that we are complete. What do you feel?
Yeah, I feel the same. It feels complete. I feel like things we spoke were so rich that it doesn't need more words. Yeah.
I'd still like to offer you the chance to say where people can find you if they're interested in your work, in your offerings.
So I'm recently changed my work, just like Vera, from German to, well, she's not from German, but also from German, German to English. And so I don't have a new website in English yet. But until then, Lena Lange, I'm sure you'll link anyways, my website, and then Instagram, Lena Cut with a K, Lange, Lange. And yeah, there you can find me. And my newsletter, especially, that's where I'm putting most of my focus and attention on now. Yeah.
Your emotional diary, right?
Yeah, it has my heart, and it just feels much more like a big exhale than social media. So much. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Cool. Okay, Lena, thank you so much.
Thank you. So beautiful to be here with you. Thank you.
You too.